Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Figure Forecast Season 3. Thank you for sticking around this long. We are back, me and my lovely co host, Scarlett. Hey. And
Hello.
super excited to get Season 3 underway. We have some big plans, we have some big names we want to bring you, and lots of interesting topics as always. And yeah, just to start off 2024 with a big thank you for all of the support last year. We really do appreciate it. It was absolutely awesome to have so many cool athletes on, chat to so many great coaches, and just spread the good word of, being Jack bitches. It was loads of fun. We got some great feedback and had loads of fun. Um, yeah, so this episode is a little bit of a different one. We said we'd just do a bit of a catch up and roundup of what has been going on the last few months. Obviously, our last podcast was back in November, so we had a break. I was away. There was Christmas. There was New Year's, and now it's January. It's a new year, and a lot
New year,
has
new me.
yeah, new year, new me, new year, new brain.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah, we just said we'd kind of let you in on what's been going on. Definitely been some challenges, struggles, obstacles, you name it, since we wrapped up the last podcast. And also kind of just going down what we are planning on doing this year in regards to competing journeys and, our phases and stuff like that. So yeah, let's get cracking. Let's
Yeah.
let's wind back to November and what the fuck was going on.
God. It feels like such a long time ago.
It actually
I
does.
feel like it's only been like what, a month and a half, but it feels like a year.
No,
Because
it's
so
been
much has
nearly like
happened.
2 months, man. And we were
Has it?
just so used to doing it every week. It
Yeah.
seemed like years ago that we've actually done one of these
I
Zooms.
know. I had to get dust off my mic. Yeah.
I couldn't find my USB adapter. Oh, anyway, that is our life. Struggles with tech.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, actually, something we are going to touch on that we probably haven't touched on before, and not through well, it probably was a little bit of wanting to avoid it, to be honest, because
Yeah,
hashtag
definitely.
avoidance. Yeah, we both recently kind of shared some stuff on our Instagram that maybe we don't generally dive into, and we got a bit of an unexpected response. I would say it wasn't kind of content we were sharing for any particular purpose, but yeah, we just kind of got some feedback and response from clients and other competitors. So we just said, look, if there's anywhere we're gonna share the good times and the bad times, it's on here. So yeah, where do we start with that one?
Yeah.
How do we delve into that pond?
I don't
The
know.
fucking mess.
Yeah, so I think it probably definitely around like mental struggles.
Yeah,
And I think especially people on like Instagram and stuff now, it seems to be pushing themselves out to talk about that a little bit more because I think, Instagram is a massive highlight reel. And that is probably one of the causes why we do get ourselves in such a pickle with like feeling like we're not doing enough or, going off track when in reality, like everything what we do is all individual and we all struggle. And I think like it's hard for me particular to like talk about when I'm not doing great because obviously, we're coaches, we're meant to be like,
yeah.
showing people how to do it right. So when it's not going right for you, you think, shit, like, am I even allowed to do this? Do you know what I mean? But in
Oh,
reality,
complete
like it's
failure. Yeah.
yeah, like it actually create like makes you a lot more relatable to people because we all do struggle. And I think especially like December was just wild. Like
December.
wild.
I never want to have another December like that. It was, oh, from start to finish.
Oh,
It was a battle. It was a fucking battle, mate. Oh Jesus. But
no.
I totally agree with the highlight thing. I'm definitely probably one of those people who backed myself into a bit of a corner and not not on purpose trying to say, oh, I'm having the perfect life and I have it, you know, I get it spot on all of the time and I'm always on track and I'm always training hard. But they were things I was doing all the time. Like I was on track and I was training hard and I was, you know, having a lot of fun and doing that. So it wasn't like I was trying to make it seem like, oh, this is like a perfect life to I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but I think I got in my head then because when I wasn't doing those things or wasn't feeling like posting that kind of stuff, that I was like, oh my God, well, I can't actually say what's going on because I've painted this fucking picture and put myself out there as this, like, you know, yeah, like badass, like boss bitch, get your shit together. That's my whole brand. Like, that's my coaching business, like boss buddies. And I was just like, fuck, like, what do I do? So then it was just
Yeah.
a spiral. I was like, well, I'm not doing
Yeah.
all of those things I've told people I always do. And I'm like, shit, like what do I say to clients? What do I post? So
Yeah.
then I just don't. And then I just
Yeah.
avoid it and pretend nothing is wrong and nothing's happening. And I'm fine, it's fine. It's fine.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I know.
totally.
I was the same. Literally, like, didn't even want to look at my phone, didn't even want to pick up my phone. Like, I didn't want to speak to anybody. And I'm like, why do I feel like so fucking depressed? Like, do you know what I mean? I was just like, because I like in theory, when you write it down on paper, like there was literally nothing wrong. It was
Yeah.
just like I don't know. It was just wild, like trying to unpick things. But I do think like for me personally, it was probably like the fallout of like being so focused on it with like competing and stuff, and then like
Mm,
just the general change of everything and like settling back into like being normal and going out and socializing. Like that was really hard for me, like just being it, like putting myself back out in the wild. Like, do you know what I mean?
releasing the beast.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, what do I do? How do I speak to people? What do I wear? Like, oh God,
Yeah,
what this food? What, oh my God. Like my like food focus as well was fucking crazy. Like not that I was like binging or eating like crazy off plan, but I just felt like I was so like out of control with it. But I wasn't. But because I was like had such a long prep, it felt like it was.
yeah,
So I was like, I can't even do like a couple of days like without making a swap. And I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I thinking about food all the time? Like, it was driving me mad.
yeah.
Um, at one point, I was like, I just literally can't do this. I'm gonna have to quit. Like, I was like, I need to quit everything. I'm going to get a job in fucking Tesco. I'm sick.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah, no, I feel you on that one. I was like, oh, I was in an absolute spiral. I think December hit me extra hard because previous to going away, like I was in America for about 3.5, 4 weeks, and I was so looking forward to that. But I think beforehand, my headspace wasn't amazing, but I was kind of, you know, I had that to look forward to, and you know, I was just kind of I was okay, but I wasn't great. Like it was seeping in. Like the seeds were planted and they were starting to grow. But then I went away and I had a great time. And I saw my family and my brother and did loads of fun things that I never get to do usually. And like because I never see that side of my family, never see my brother because he's in America, I was fully just like, I am enjoying this month and I am enjoying this quality time. And even though I trained, it wasn't, my usual routine. Like I obviously didn't do as many sessions because if someone said, hey, we're going for breakfast or hey, we're going to go out in the boat today, obviously I'm going to do that. Like it wasn't like, no, I'm, I'm going to the gym first and definitely relaxed a lot around food. But that was the longest I'd done that in like years. Like I hadn't had a month where I wasn't tracking. Like I came off tracking for the month. I don't know what I ate for the month. I wasn't an asshole every day, but like that, it was just so out of character, and I kind of
yeah,
struggled big time then to get back into it afterwards. And then because I wasn't doing it, even when I was away, I was taking pictures of all this amazing food and like stuff I was having, and I wouldn't share them because
yeah,
I was like, no, I can't do that because people are going to judge me. My clients are going to see this. People are going to be like, some fucking bodybuilder she is. And I was telling me all this, like
yeah,
myself. Oh my God. And then I got back and I couldn't get back into it. my head went to shit. I obviously had the post-holiday blues. All of the things that were wrong before I had gone that I hadn't dealt with properly came back with a vengeance in December. And it was just such an odd month. I was struggling to, number one, go to the gym, but number two, when I was in there, it was just my head was in the clouds. Like I wasn't able to push. I wasn't able to go to that place where you need to go to bring it. Like it just wasn't. I just wasn't feeling them. And it's not like me. Like I enjoy training. It's not like that's something I usually struggle with. So then I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like you like this? Like why can't you do it, you stupid bitch? Like I was just in a guilt spiral. And then the food couldn't get back on my diet. Like not that I was being a dick, but I just couldn't get back to my normal routine. And then
Yeah.
that was the whole questioning, should I even be a bodybuilder? Should like what business is it of mine? What business is it of mine to coach people? I can't tell people what to do if I'm not like it was insane. It was the most negatively I have ever spoken to myself. Like it was horrendous. It was so bad. And I think it's
No.
only this week that I've kind of come out the other end. Like, I'm not saying I'm fine, but I'm like, okay, back on my meal plan, back to good sessions and stuff. But like, that was a long spell. Like, that was a
Yeah.
long, long, long spell of not ticking the boxes. And I think, again, the whole Instagram thing, because you've backed yourself into that corner and painted this picture of yourself, and you're looking at the picture going, that's not me now. Like, what do I
Yeah.
do? You're so
Yeah.
lost then.
I know. And then I didn't want to be like just posting loads of like how I'm actually
You were
feeling post because I'd be like, no, because I'd be like, well, bloody hell, she needs help. Like, so someone could
I know.
stay with her. She's mentally unstable. She needs a accomplice. But I was just like, but I was like literally getting like full, like, just like nothing to, like, I couldn't like put into context like what I wanted to post. I was trying to do like plans, and then I was thinking, maybe I should just have a week off Instagram. And then I was like, so fucking addicted to it that I'm like, I can't put it down. I was posting stories, then taking them down, and oh, it was just
What an absolute shite as well. Like when you're
yeah,
in that headspace, it's so hard to produce content. Like that is the
yeah,
last thing I want to do. Like the
yeah,
absolute last on the list. And I suppose it's good because technically Instagram isn't our job. Like, yeah, content creation
no,
obviously helps in terms of like getting clients, providing value, all that kind of stuff, but it's not our job. We don't get paid for Instagram. So it's a very easy thing to just say, fuck that.
yeah,
But the whole I even then struggled with, let's say, check-in days, and I'm talking to my clients and I'm like,
yeah.
okay, I'll just go have a cry between these Zooms. And I was just like, how am I telling these people to do these things and do this, that, and the other and keep them motivated and keep them on track when I'm a fucking mess? Like,
Well, one thing actually which did help me like sort of get back into the groove, because I actually feel like honestly, new year, new me. Like since Christmas, pissed off. Like I honestly feel like so much more
yeah,
like me again. I actually said to like my friend the other day, I was like, I feel mental because I feel so good,
yeah,
and like and I felt so shit. Like it's the contrast is just like
yeah,
I feel like manic, but in a good
yeah,
way. So I'm
yes,
rolling with it.
yeah, 100%.
um,
But it is alien when you haven't had that in a while.
yeah, yeah.
And you're kind of
But like
like
one
waiting
thing
for
that did,
something to go wrong. You're like, what?
yeah, like doing the check-ins and stuff, like for me, did actually help me
Yeah,
come back around, because like I
yeah,
was telling them how to help them, and then thinking, right, well, I need to listen to what I'm saying to these
yeah,
to my clients, because
yeah.
that's what I need to do for myself as well. And like obviously, like, Jake and everyone has poured that back in as well. But it's really hard to do it for your inside brain.
100%.
Not your outside brain.
100%. So much harder to take your own advice. Like, it really is.
Yeah,
But definitely, I agree. Like, the struggle to get going with the check ins was real. But then I suppose when you're seeing wins and you're given that advice, like, it definitely does give a booster. Like, today I just
yeah,
wrapped up loads of catch up calls with clients. And now I'm buzzing because that was so much like good energy. But I think
yeah,
one of the things I did, and I don't usually read, right? So it's very rare you will see me give a book recommendation. But if you can see on YouTube, you need to get this. And if not, if you're listening, it's
Yeah.
the Arnold's book, Be Useful: 7 Tools for Life. So not that it's going to fix all your problems, but I struggle to pull myself out of the hole. So I needed to get myself to a place where I could kind of even tolerate the motivational shit and the podcast and the tough love. Like I was too fragile to listen to it. So I
Yeah.
needed to get myself slightly more elevated in said hole to then be able to listen to the real shit. And that book, honestly, it just says it how it is, and it actually really did help. So if you were looking for a little boost that you can kind of like dip in and out of, I really, really like that one. Yeah, that actually that helps loads.
Yeah. No, I do think them kind of books do really work. Like I've got a few, to be honest, that I do, where you just like go back to when you're like, right, I need to
Yeah,
reread that one. That
yeah,
helped me pull my head out my ass last time, so let's go again.
yeah, 100%.
But yeah, no,
It's
that's
good.
good. I'll try.
Um, yeah, it was wild. I think now I'm definitely starting to feel better, as in, right, okay, you're able to like cope with your days again. But it was pretty bleak. And I think the whole prep thing is amazing. As you said, you're so focused those 6 months, well, in your case it's a fucking year. But your sole focus is getting that goal complete and ticking those daily boxes, and you're so regimented in such a structured routine that the outside world doesn't, it's
Doesn't
not
exist.
your,
It's
it
weird.
doesn't exist, right? Like in that kind of time frame, you're in your own little bubble, and all of the things that happen still happen. Life is still shit, but you're just not immune to it. You're just, you don't want to know, like you just block it out. And I think I'd probably done that a lot on prep. Like there was a lot of shit, and even after prep, that I hadn't really dealt with because I was so excited to like, move on to the next phase and like throw myself into growing and like see people and travel and do all of this. Like my friend died when I was 5 weeks out. That was horrendous.
Yeah.
But I just got up the next day, went to the gym, did my steps, and ate my food. Not that
Yeah.
I wasn't upset, but it's one of those things where you're just like, I'll deal with that later. And it's
Yeah.
really only when you're back in normal life that you're like, oh, fuck. Like, I really miss that person. Or fell out with my other bestie. Massive part of my life gone. So there was a lot of change, I think. And that had probably obviously all added up. And I wasn't really kind of thinking about it until I had to think about it. And then
Yeah.
it's 10 times worse because you're only dealing with it 6 months down the line. So I think, yeah, there was a lot of change this year and a lot of just kind of unexpected
Last year.
things.
Last year. Last year.
Last year, oh my god, yeah, new year, new brain, new
We're
all of
leaving
it.
that one. We're leaving 2023. Like it's
We're
gone.
leaving
Burn
2020. You know
it.
what's so funny? Like the amount of people and posts that I saw from people saying, "Oh, no highlight reels this year," and there wasn't
Mm.
a top nine. There was very few highlight reels compared
Yeah,
to
I don't think
previous.
I've seen any top nines, to be fair.
No, I saw like one,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
literally one person to the top nine, and
Mm.
really not a lot of highlight reels. I just did
No.
it because I actually wanted to give myself a boost, and
Yeah.
looking at it and kind of remembering, oh shit, there was actually really good stuff this year as well. Definitely put a smile on my face. But I was finding that during December, it was kind of like I'd get those like momentary feel good things, like okay, I can give myself a boost right now, and that'll carry me through the rest of the day. But then the next day,
Yeah.
I'd wake up and I'd be rock bottom again. So I had to keep doing these like mini boosts to like get through the day nearly, or like
Yeah.
get to the gym. I was listening to like there's this weekly motivation podcast. Is it Lionel Scott or something? And anyway, it's all between like 5 and 10 minute podcasts that are just snippets from different people's motivational speeches.
Yeah.
So good, like so good. But I was having to listen to them to even get
Go.
myself into the mind frame to go and like actually do a session. It was wild. It was wild.
Yeah. I made one of them like the wrap up things, and I didn't post it. I just made it like and I remember making it and like just like getting so upset because I was like there was so many good things that happened,
Yeah.
but like the fact that it was like really hard, like
Yeah.
it's just what it's just weird. Like that kind of outweighed like the good positive things that did happen. Like and I think like because of all that, like I did do a lot of growing and like I feel like I've reached a little next step of, you know,
Yeah,
personal progression because of it. Like because
yeah,
I'm still here and we're still like pushing it and we're still doing more and we're still, you know, actively trying to get better at this. Like, do you
yeah,
know what I mean? And I think
yeah,
like there would be like a couple of times in that year where I could have easily just sacked everything
yeah.
off and
Oh,
just
easy.
crawled
Yeah,
into a ball under the
yeah.
bed for
100%,
the
100%.
foreseeable.
Yeah.
Um,
Only for that, my rent went up.
yeah,
Yeah, I feel you, but even that, like obviously part of our job as well is the sales end of things, right? Like you need to get new clients, you need to, get obviously promote your business and stuff like that. And that was something I was just like so allergic to doing. I was just
mm,
like, that's just I don't have that in me. And not ideal as a business owner, is it? So like everything was suffering because I was suffering and I just couldn't snap out of it. It was horrendous.
yeah,
Yeah, it was bleak. But then I think the main thing for me was like, yeah, this has gone wrong, and yeah, you're absolutely okay to be upset and like if you're depressed, you're depressed. But like I keep I kept judging myself and like kept feeling really guilty for feeling a certain way about something. Like
yeah,
kept doing it, kept judging myself. Like I was like nearly quitting on my coach. I was nearly texting Meg going, there's just no point. Like I'm just shit. I don't want to be that client. I'm a shit bodybuilder. I'm wasting your time. Like I kept
yeah.
telling myself that every day. And now I was like, what the fuck? Like,
But
oh my
it's so
God,
not productive. Like it doesn't
so
do
not
like it
productive.
literally just makes things so much worse. Like
Yeah.
uh yeah, it's just it's like
And
they just total lies that you just tell yourself.
oh, like ridiculous stuff. And then I was just like, well, I've just wasted 2 months. Like I'm clearly, I can't, sure I can't compete this year. It's just fucking useless. Like, why am I even doing this? It was non-stop, like non-stop. So that's curtailed a little bit now this week, which
Yeah,
is lovely. Um, yeah, because it was just absolutely not productive at all, at all. And the thing is, at the end of the day, I had a conversation with clients on a check in this week, and yeah, you can feel shit, like you're allowed to feel shit, but you're the only one who can change it at the end of the day.
yeah,
Like you're the only one who can make the decision to not feel shit anymore. And I'm not saying that's an easy thing to do. Like fuck me. If anyone understands how difficult it is to pull yourself out of that hole when all you want to do is lie in your bed and cry your fucking eyes out and watch Twilight. Like genuinely, that's just what I wanted to do all the time. It's so difficult. It's probably the most difficult thing you will ever do in your life is to pull yourself out of that hole of depression when you're stuck in it and you're just like, I just can't be fucked. So difficult. But you can do it and you're the only
can
one who
do
can
it.
do it. Like you're
Yeah,
literally the only person. You can go to therapy, but it's not that hour that counts. It's
yeah.
do you
It's
actually
what you
do
do.
what
It's what you do with that
exactly.
information that they
Yeah.
give you. And
Yeah.
like it's about like obviously training and putting that into practice as well. Like it's not easy to sit with yourself and be like, right, okay, right, right, Scarlett, what what are we doing today? How do we
It's
feel? Why do we
worse.
feel like that? Put your shoes down. You're not going out the door today. Sit.
The chocolates in the press. Oh, stop. I actually, where is it? As my little stocking filler, Gary just got me this. It's a little open heart, joyful mind wellness diary, right? I am
Okay.
one of those people who has never journaled. I don't really get it. I never kept a diary. I wasn't like a dear diary person. Um, but this one just has a little space for you to write what you're grateful for, basically. And
Okay.
I'm going to really try to do that every morning, even if it's
Yeah.
just something stupid. Like I wrote, like, oh, my morning walks with Django. Love them.
Okay.
Always in a good mood when I'm doing them. So I'm just gonna try my best to keep that
Well,
up. And yeah.
I'll show I'll show you mine. Mine's very
Oh,
hard.
perfect.
And I have been working. There's lots of stuff in there. So basically, the mine's just like a big square piece of blank paper,
Yeah.
and it has no lines on it or anything like that because my brain, like I'm a lefty, so it's you're like a little bit more creative and
Yeah.
I'm not really very like straight lined person. So I just write all over paper and I just literally just work from it and it seems to
Brainstorm.
work. Like sometimes I mind map, draw
Draw
pictures.
lines. Yeah. Point apart.
Yeah.
I love it.
But yeah, definitely the gratitude like each day does really help. And like just like giving things a little bit more like context as well. Like, you know, like sometimes some days you might just be like, well, I don't really know what I'm grateful for today, but did you have a
Yeah.
good night's sleep? And have you got a roof over your head is probably like good enough, isn't it?
Sometimes a good night's sleep honestly can change things completely.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, now that I've actually I don't know why it took me so long to get back on track with my food because that's something that is
You've
like
never been like that with food,
no,
where I've
like
been like
no,
a
and that's the thing. That's how I knew it
yeah,
was bad. Like it was fucking bad,
yeah,
and it's honestly been years since it was that bad. Like mental health for me has always been a struggle. Literally since I was 15, on and off meds, tried different therapies, like all of the things I've done it. But my food was never something I had an issue with, like ever,
yeah,
ever. So I was just like, oh God, so you're gone. Like you're gone. Like you're fucked.
yeah,
But now that I've got back on my plan the last few days, I feel so much better. But I
yeah.
knew I would, but I just couldn't do
Just
it.
doing
Like
it.
my
Yeah,
appetite, I never struggle to eat. Ever. Your gal can put down food. Like that's
yeah,
not that's not an issue. That was a serious issue. Like I had, when the anxiety is in your stomach and it's like up to your ditties, like it's right
yeah,
there, and you are like, ugh, like you can just feel it. I couldn't eat. Even I was coming back from Melbourne and I just had a month in America with my family, had the best time. I'd just gone to Eric Prydz, like one of our favorite DJs, had the best time in Melbourne. Full blown anxiety attack on the plane. Where's the last place you want to be when you're having an anxiety attack? I can tell you,
on
it's
a
in the
plane.
cabin of a fucking airplane. It was no, like it was horrendous. And honestly, it was years since I actually had a proper attack like that. Like it had been a long time, and I was sitting there and I was just like, I in the bathroom, people kept going in and out. I couldn't stand up because I didn't want someone looking at me. I was just like fidgeting, tapping this, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god. Gary was like, are you okay? Just started bawling, crying, went into the toilet, got sick. Like it was wild.
Mm,
It was wild. So I just couldn't get back into my normal food. So then I was really struggling with mood, energy, sleep, everything.
yeah,
And sure, then I just felt 10 times worse. So now I've had a few good sleeps. I've had
yeah.
a few great days of food. I've had a few good sessions. And I actually feel so much better.
Yeah.
So much better.
It's because like it works and like in it you feel good for it. Like I actually like really love my food like my food plan. There's like nothing
Yeah.
wrong with it. Like, do you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
know my skin's good, like I
Yeah.
have lots of energy, like and it it fills me up. But it was just something about like just yeah, I don't know what it was. I felt like I had like just no control or I didn't want to have any control. I think that's what it
Yeah.
was. I was kind of like trying to fuck it up. Like,
Yeah.
and that's obviously like something I've massively like struggled with in the past is like just getting in my own way and self-sabotage and just, not being able to what's the word? Like be confident in myself in doing them things because I feel like I deserve them sometimes. And I
Yeah.
think when you're in that pit and you
Yeah.
feel like shit, you're
Yeah.
like, well, you're not even going to be good anyway, so you might as well just go and eat 16 bags of crisps. Not that I did that, but
Yeah.
as an example.
Yeah. I definitely did have some chocolate, and like if I wanted something, I'd have it. Like not out of control, and like I was eating fuck all calories. So like the stuff I was having just wasn't great. But like I knew I wasn't hitting protein. I knew I like,
Yeah.
and I was saying this check in after check in after check in. It wasn't like I was skipping them or anything, and it wasn't like Meg wasn't trying to help me, but I was judging myself then for being that fucking client. Like
Yeah.
you always come across them, the ones that just don't do anything, they don't listen to you. And then I was like, you're that fuck oh Jesus. And then well, you don't deserve to place, you don't deserve to be a bodybuilder, you don't deserve oh my god, you don't deserve to have clients, you don't like it was just non-stop, like
Yeah.
oh
I know. But we're back now.
We're back, guys. We are back. Positive vibes. Positive vibes. We're fine. We're fine. Yeah, don't send any white coats to the doors, please. We have to probably focus out the van after
I
5 minutes. Yeah, no, I think it's actually been a little bit of a lesson kind of sharing. I maybe shared like 2 posts about it on Instagram, and I think even client wise, because they are so used to viewing me in the way that I portray myself, i.e., boss lady, gets her shit together, does everything right, and not to sound like fucking oh I'm great, but like that's just your routine, like you have it together kind of thing. So I actually think since sharing them and the check-ins that clients have done since then have been really, really good, and people have actually
Yeah.
opened up a lot, like that may not have done beforehand because they just didn't know that was something that I had ever struggled with or had an issue with, so it's actually been really good in that regard to share it more. But I think it's one of those things when you're in it, it's impossible to voice. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's just like you're too fragile. Like you're too vulnerable to tell anybody. You're just like, no, just give me cotton wool for another week and then I'll talk to someone.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's it. But I do think like us as coaches, like being able to talk about that, it does allow your clients to open up to you and feel like there is a safe space for them to be able to talk about their struggles, because like like I said, like everybody will, and they probably feel what we were feeling like, but
Yeah.
not being able to tell us. Like,
Because they
so
think we're gonna judge them or be mad or
yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And I
So
was judging myself and being mad at myself. So
exactly.
I wasn't doing it to them, I was just doing it to me.
Yeah.
Oh, stop. Yeah. We should have psych degrees by now, really.
Well, I know. I was thinking I might go into it.
No, no,
No.
don't do that.
No.
You need this prescribed.
Yeah.
Just find you staring out a window one day.
Imagine. Oh God.
Stop.
So now that you're back on your on your business, what's your plans? Have you got any for this year?
Biz wise, yeah. So and that was the other thing. Like, I just come off the back of like a client photo shoot, like a group photo shoot that we'd done in November, and that was my first ever time running them in Perth. So I really wasn't sure how that was going to go because I'd been out of the country for like a while, and I didn't know what to expect. And we actually had 9 girls do it in the end, which was absolutely unreal. So we had 6 on the day, and then kind of 3 after that. And that was a great, great, great experience, great success, and got some awesome feedback. So definitely planning the next one for this year. So that is exciting. I'm definitely going to make them a regular thing. Um, that's kind of the biz things, and then actually in June. Myself and Gary, my partner, if anyone doesn't know who Gary is, he's my other half, and he's also an online coach and bodybuilder. So we're actually teaming up and doing a joint retreat in Bali. So that is in June. So that's the next kind of big goal in terms of like business and kind of that kind of stuff. And there's a few courses I want to do and tick off the list this year. I think for me this year is about being the best coach I can be and learning loads and upskilling and stuff, because a lot of last year was taken up with prep and then travel and just
Yeah.
bits like that. And so I probably didn't get as much educational kind of study in as I usually like to. So definitely a big focus on that. I think the next one I'm probably going to do is the J3U, the female
Yeah.
module and the
Female one.
hypertrophy. I know you were looking at that one as well. So I think that's probably the next on the list in terms of business stuff. And then in terms of like competing, this is all in an ideal world because obviously the last 2 months have not been particularly productive. I don't think I've gone backwards too much. Like, nothing a few weeks of hard training won't sort out, but it also means I haven't progressed. Like, I've just kind of been stagnant. So yeah, I'm gonna have to work my fucking hole off for 5 months and grow as much as possible. There's zero diet scheduled in that time.
Yeah.
So it's just full just
Okay.
get jacked, honey. But I actually think in my last few sessions, I've managed to get nice strength increases, which has been fun because I think they're always a good indication, especially I'm trying to grow my hamstrings. Anyone who's following us for a while knows they're just my absolute nemesis. Like they just don't respond. But the last few sessions I've had some nice increases in terms of strength with them in particular. So that's exciting. That's a positive. So I'm just looking at positives. And yeah, in an ideal world, myself and Gary are going to do a joint prep this time because anyone whose
Nice.
partner competes knows it's prep is tough, like, and it definitely takes its toll on a relationship. And we probably misjudged the last time we both competed. He did a season B and I did a season A, so that meant for a year, pretty much, we had no date nights and we were just at completely opposite phases. And yeah, we just agreed that probably wasn't a good idea to do again. The fact we survived for the year was was a really good thing. So I think we're both aiming to start prep in May and hopefully go and do some Asian shows. So we have
Yeah.
our eye on Thailand and Japan possibly in November.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. I'm really hoping I've made the improvements I need to, but I'm
Your
just at
back
that
looks
point.
like it's come off.
My back, yeah, you see, that's the
Yeah.
thing. So we actually did change my training a lot because my back responds very well. Like my upper body tends to respond quite quickly, and like in terms of size and stuff like that has come on a lot since I've started training for figure. My legs, my quads respond. Like they're not, I'm not going to say they're freaky or anything, but they do respond well. Like respond at an appropriate kind of rate for what I'm doing. The issue was the posterior lower half, like the glutes and hammies
Yeah.
just don't. So my pull days were very much focused on just back and a little bit
Yeah.
biceps, but obviously that was it. I could sacrifice some volume there to put extra lower body work in. So we've done that, and I think that's probably gonna help a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what I don't want is to have grown an unreal back and like killer top half of a back shot, and then to have absolutely horrendous hamstrings that are now comparing to an even stronger upper half versus
Yeah.
last time. So that's
So
the
it'll be
that's the
so much
current,
harder to get that in, won't it?
so much harder, so much harder. It's that balance now. So like I'm just at that point where I don't want to just jump on stage. Like I just don't want to do that to myself and go through 6 months of fucking hell for nothing. Like not saying, oh, your progress isn't nothing, but you've done a few seasons, you've competed a few times, you obviously want to start doing well, right? Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's just where I'm at in terms of will I or won't I prep.
Yeah.
Mm. What about you? How's the wellness journey? You've left us.
Yeah, well, actually, it's all right.
Mate, that
It's
picture you
good.
shared with the difference in your legs. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
they have grown like a lot, to be fair. Like
A
because
lot.
I've never really, I've never put that emphasis like just there. Like before, like
Yeah.
I'm doing like legs 3 days a week, and yeah, strength is coming on. Like I'm getting like a really good like connection with my glutes and stuff. Like honestly, having DOMs in your glutes is just it's weird. Like I actually had to go and lie down the other day because I couldn't sit on the couch. It's like this is just minging. But yeah, it's good. Like I think what I want to do is like try and get back on like get on stage this year, like probably the end of the year.
Yeah.
Like I know I'm not going to be like huge, but I just need some more. Well, not that I need some more, but I want some more
Actually,
stage time. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, like I want to see what I actually look like against people, and just throw myself back in and not do like a really long off season because like I haven't had a starting point for that yet. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think if I have like 6 months now, start a prep like later on, probably like July time or something similar to you,
Yeah.
and then just see what happens. Like I mean, I've only really been doing like proper off season now for like 3 months, and considering like
Release.
December was probably December was probably like a bit of a shit show in terms of like I
Yeah.
wasn't really consistent with my training because we was like going out on the weekends, and food wasn't the best, and it's like it wasn't like 100% on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I do feel like things have come up. Like And I'm even like holding body fat on my ass now, which I never ever did. So I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know what that means, but
My arm jiggled the other day and I was like, fuck no. I was like, that hasn't happened in a long time. Oh.
it's weird. Um, but yeah, like same sort of thing with you, like just obviously like building like the business and stuff this year. Like I've got a team meet this week, which will be really fun, and then just doing more stuff with DY Nutrition as well. So
Yeah.
going to be going to the Arnold's with them and just
Ooh.
like yeah, so like there's loads of stuff. Like my goals obviously this year is like to just like network a lot more and just
Yes.
get out and
Yes.
get about and just meet new people. And I,
Yeah.
I am literally like I have zero pressure on myself for like competing and stuff. Like I am literally just doing it because I enjoy it now, and like I'm not chasing anything. I'm
Yeah.
just
But I also think
doing my
you
thing.
can
Like
enjoy it more now because you found a
yeah,
coach you really click with, you're working really well. And I think the change to wellness, you can enjoy it because you're seeing the response you want. Because
yeah,
it's all well and good training for a category, but if your genetics are very much so geared towards something else, it can be frustrating when you're not getting the payoff you want, right? But I think
yeah,
now because you're training for a category that you're clearly very suited to, that makes it more fun, right?
yeah. Well, I've seen more progress in my lower half like in 3 months than I did with my upper body in like a year and a half.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we kind of have to accept fate there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I still dream about having big delts and a fucking jacked back. Like, don't, that'll never leave me. but,
I know. I know.
but
What's
yeah,
your glute training like now? Because obviously, it's included in what we would be doing as figure competitors, but it's not. It's nowhere near as detailed or as targeted or that kind of
yeah.
stuff. So what's a wellness gal's glute session like? Or
Well,
what's your training split like?
so it is. God, it's over like 2 weeks. So it's like one legs, one push, off, legs, off, shoulders, and a little bit of delts, legs, and then like repeat it kind of across there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I have one leg session, which is like mostly like posterior. So I have RDLs, glute drive, good mornings,
Oh, I love
hamstring
good
curls,
morning.
reverse
I think
hyper.
super underrated. Yeah.
Yeah, they are
The
good.
reverse hyper is also underrated.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like abductors, kickbacks. Um,
Kickbacks! Oh my god!
yeah. But they like the ones with like a kickback with a slight like
Angle.
abduction like out to the side for like that
Like
glute
glute
med.
med. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. I love
yeah.
them.
They
Love
they
them.
fucking get you, man. Like
Oh, they kill you.
they
I don't
I
think I ever
hate
got past 15 kilos. Like,
yeah. Like
no.
I'm literally sweating off them. And then obviously like pendulum squat, hack squat, leg press,
Yeah.
just yeah.
Yeah.
Adductors,
Yeah.
calves.
So all of the ab
Don't
and
forget
adult.
calves.
Oh fuck calf, man. That I have so much calf work now. In fairness, I was kind of skipping it a lot. So now I think she's like doubled up on it because they're so shit. And I'm like, oh, literally after every session, killer. Killer.
Yeah,
I think you're at like remember when I was doing last year's season and it was my first figure one and I was just like, I just need to get it done. Like I just
yeah,
need to tick the box and
yeah,
get it out of my system. Yeah, so that's exciting.
yeah. No, it'd be good. Yeah, like I want to see what it looks like when I'm like when I'm lean because like obviously it's hard to tell when you've got a layer and but
At
because yeah,
least
like
it's
I had
picture where
literally
you
like
are.
no ass.
It's peak somewhere where I am, and I'm like, oh.
But yeah, but no, it'd be good. It's a new challenge, so
It is. Oh, and also, the DY. Tell us about that because that's obviously new.
yeah.
Is that your first like ambassador gig?
Yeah, so it's like full sponsorship
Yeah.
with them. So yeah, like I don't know, what
Discount
do I say?
code. Plug. Go
Yeah, I've got a
on. Tell us
discount
on your
code,
fake
Scarlett
products.
10. Yeah, so they like obviously all the protein, health ups, everything like that. And yeah, we just we're like building a bit more of like a team with it now as well. So we're going to do like more like events and just obviously spreading the products. Like all the products are just, well, they're like pharmaceutical grade, like standards, so they're all like top notch
Yeah.
stuff. Obviously Dorian Yates, but but yeah, no, it was actually mad, like to get asked to do that, because
Awesome.
I actually got asked to do it from doing um like a photo shoot for them. So they wanted me to do like the reels and stuff. And
Yeah.
then they were like, "Oh, do you want to come on board?" And I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely."
Absolutely.
So yeah, but no, it's been class. Like probably about 3 months I've been with them now. So
Yeah. Totally.
yeah,
Totally.
yeah.
Well, there you go. I think we've shied on
We
a lot.
waffled on for a lot longer
Yeah,
than
we
the
we
40
waffled
minutes
on.
we
I don't
said.
even know how the time we're on. No, but we just kind of wanted to do a roundup and kind of just fill everyone in on what's going on, life update, and all of that jazz. Do you have anything starting soon in terms of like challenges or group things or anything like that? Or
Yeah, I do actually. The closing date for it's tomorrow though, so it's
so no shit.
by the time this goes out, it'll be started with. But yeah, I'm doing like an 8 week challenge, which is like more focused on not being obsessed with the scales.
Yeah,
Which is something like I have noticed a lot of people struggling with as well.
it's like
So obviously it's
resurgent.
still, yeah, like it's still
Yeah,
obviously a diet, but it's just a different kind of way of focusing on it, which is good.
yeah,
But yeah, I've got I wanted to keep it like a smaller group, so I've got round about what I wanted, because I didn't want it to just be like a case of here's a plan,
yeah,
fuck off.
yeah.
Like I want to actually
Yeah,
teach
I'm
people.
yes. Big time on the personalization and kind of getting
Yeah,
enough time with every client. It's like rather than, oh, here's 400 or 500 people and everyone's just getting the same shite. Yeah,
yeah.
no, not about that life.
Especially
Um,
with things like this as well, where it's like it's obviously an area where people have, struggled with a lot. Like I
yeah,
think teaching them how to focus
yeah,
on the actions and stuff
yeah,
is like so much more beneficial for like keeping the weight off as well. Like,
yeah, yeah,
you know,
exactly. Because it's a more like a habit based kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah,
Actually, it was funny. We had our first Zoom live of the year there at last week with my clients, and one of the girls, in fairness to her, it's hard to open up and kind of be vulnerable, especially to people that you don't know. And she kind of, opened up about the scales, and it was actually class to see everyone chiming in and getting involved. And then, yeah, me too, like me too. And then the group chat was all, they were having great chats about that. And then I was like, this is right, okay. We need more of this. So I posted something on my stories yesterday, and then ended up doing a post later in the day. But it was just, I think I don't know what it is, but it's definitely come up more recently. So I think
yeah,
that's a really good idea about the challenge and just kind of making sure people are aware of the millions of other areas of progress they can make, like rather than just tying it
yeah,
to a number, for sure, for sure.
yeah.
Anything
So
else to
yeah,
add?
no, I think we've covered everything really.
That's our therapy session covered. We'll just cancel the other ones that we need to pay for.
Yeah, no.
Guys,
Save
any
yourself a
advice we
fortune
give
this
on this,
week.
by the way, is absolutely not medical grade advice. So that's just us sharing our personal stories in the hope that someone else can relate and maybe take a leaf from our book. We will, of course, be back next week, and we have another great chat planned for you guys. But what we would love this season is if you are enjoying any of the particular episodes or have feedback, ideas, requests, absolutely everything, please do get in contact with us, because we really want to make this podcast as valuable as possible and kind of provide you with the right topics, the right guests, the right information. And the only way we can do that is if you guys reach out and let us know what you're enjoying and what else you'd like to see more of and that kind of thing. So thank you so much for listening. All of our relevant links are in the show notes in the description. So if you're looking for anything, it's all down there. Thank you for
Thank
listening,
you.
and happy 2024 to everybody.
Let's
Bye.
get it. See ya.